Okay. Mm. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my life. We are live now. Call a brother to call a friend. That we are live. Yes, we are currently live. Okay, we are currently live. So if you are joining, please can I see your comments on the comment section? Drop all your comments, drop all your thoughts in the comments. I'm looking for a way to pin this mic so my hands can be free to talk. Okay, so in today's live, I'm going to be doing a chit chat um about family visa as it concerns international nurses here in Ireland. If you don't like so much of my life is basically going to be where I get to explain a lot of things in more details than my other long form videos. Okay, so I want to see if I can try to be doing like live every night. I'm also trying to grow my YouTube channel. Please, so if you would like to support me, feel free to comment, feel free to share my videos, feel free to just talk about my channel to everyone basically, so they can join on my YouTube channel. Basically, I talk about migration as it concerns nurses. I talk about my life here in Ireland. I talk about literally everything in between. On my YouTube channel, I give my life updates and all of that stuff. So if that's the kind of content you are interested in, don't forget to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and yeah. So let's get into today's video. Basically, it's about family visa. If you want to know, but first of all, let me tell you that. Do you know that you can migrate here with your family, even from back home? Yes, you do not need to wait for a longer time. You can move here with your family from the very get go. Now, I know at this point you might be confused, yeah, but I'm not really going to, try to talk about so much regarding that. I am going to try to explain what I mean by that in a very simple way. Yeah, in a very, very simple way. I'm trying to see where my light should be pointing to. Is it me? Is it here? Or however, I don't know. I feel like it's not really that bright. But I think we can make do with that actually. Can make do with that. The quality seem to be low, knowing that I'm shooting with my front camera and it is a live. The quality seem to be really low, but yeah, that's the best I can get actually. I don't think I can get better than that. So let me try to increase the brightness and see how it goes. I think there's uh, a little bit of difference there. Yeah. All right. So basically, Like what I'm saying, I'm talking about family visa. I know my life might be boring. Even me talking to myself, I feel like it's a bit boring. Yeah, but that's just it. Okay. You've already watched up to 5 minutes and I've not said anything important. Um, let's move forward. So, family visa. What's family visa? Just as the name implies, it's a visa that allows your family to come with you to any country of choice, and in this case, it's Ireland. So what they don't actually call it family visa; they call it family reunification. So that's the name, family reunification. So, but nonetheless, um, they call it family reunification. Nonetheless, yeah. So that's the name. And how do you get it? I think that's the most important question. How do you get it? But you get it when you yourself have your own visa to remain in the country for at least a year. So that means you have your work permit. And what are the different kinds of work permit? There are majorly two kinds of work permit, majorly two types: the critical skills work permit or the general work permit. I say that again. There are basically two types of work permit. There are other types, which I do not really want to go into that. There are other types. But for the purpose of today's video, majorly we're going to talk about critical skills or the general work permit. So for the critical skills, there are different people who can get it. We have nurses, doctors, IT personnel, and so on and so forth that are eligible, engineers, other medical healthcare professionals. But there are criteria as well. So you being a nurse is one of the things that qualifies you to get it. The next thing that qualifies you to get it is that you should be able to have a job of at least 2 years contract, 24 months contract. So after you have that, the next thing will be your salary. So every year, the salary threshold for the critical skills work permit is updated. Okay, they update it. From when I knew it, it was about 32,000. They updated it to about 30, I think 35, and I think now it is at about 38,000 euro per annum before you are eligible to get the critical skills work permit. So that being said, for you to be able to get it as a nurse, you should have nothing less than um 4 years work experience. And that 4 years work experience has to be with an acute clinical setting. Basically, what that means is a hospital. Let's lubricate because this country, hmm, otherwise, your lips will be breaking every second if you don't lubricate it as often as you can. Someone just joined there. Thank you for watching. If you don't mind, can you drop a message? Let me see who's watching and let me know if you can hear me. I'm sure you can hear me actually. Okay, so yeah, I was saying that the before you should be able to get the critical skills or permit, you should have nothing less than 4 years acute clinical job experience. So let me explain what that means. I have heard of someone who I have heard of someone who um a nurse who came into the country, finished the exams, finished everything, and then wanted to have a job. previously was working with a nursing home. So in a nursing home, they don't many nursing home does not really follow the salary scales. They just like place people on a particular salary scales, and that's it. They don't really go into how many years of experience you have, and then they put you accordingly like that. So when the person moved from that place to a hospital, basically the hospital was trying to verify his years of experience. I think someone asked me that question, how do you verify years of experience? um I'll talk about that later, but let me finish with the critical skills and the salary threshold, how it is counted. So they tried to verify his years of experience and realized that he doesn't have much acute clinical. Thank you so much, Kevin, for watching. Oh, I see you, nurses. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. If you have question while you are here, you can drop them in the comment and I'll endeavor to answer you. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Help me share the live to your page, to your Facebook so others can join. Okay. So when they calculate your acute clinical experience, and it has to be more than 4 years, because the startup salary is about 33,000. That's for the first year nurse. So in Ireland, after you work for about 4 years, there's what they call the enhanced nurses scale. Then they will now move you to that enhanced nurses scale, and then you start counting point 1, point 2. So if you do not have up to point 1 of the enhanced nursing skills, which is about 4 years of clinical experience, then your salary may not be enough. Recently, I have heard, I don't know, it's more like a rumor where people are saying, at least those countries that agencies are still actively recruiting, they are saying that if you do not have up to 6 years experience, they do not want to employ. Thank you so much, Blessing. Thanks for joining. They do not want to employ people because if you're not up to 6 years, there's a likelihood, especially if you are going to be working with the nursing home, there's a likelihood that you may not be eligible to get the critical skills work permit, which directly influence the time frame you need to wait before bringing in your family. So I think I've been able to explain the salary threshold when it comes to the critical skills. So as at this moment, it's still at about 38,000 euro, and 38,000 euro per annum is a salary of a nurse um that is up to 4 years, 3 years. Okay. Outside that, you may not be able to get it. Thank you so much, Gerald. So yeah, I think that's that for the salary threshold. So you want to make sure that you have up to that years of experience before you want to migrate, especially if you have a spouse, or if you are already married and maybe with kids, or even if there is no kids. If you are married and you people have an understanding that your spouse will be joining you immediately. Otherwise, you will only be getting the general work permit. So that's it for the salary. So after you have gotten your salary, remember that this okay, let's not talk about the time frame. Let me still continue with the critical skills work permit. So the critical skills work permit, it costs 1,000 euro to apply for it. Don't panic. It's 99.9% that it is not you that is going to be applying for that. I mean, paying for that. It is your employer. The people I know so far, no one has paid it themselves. It is the hospital you're working with that pays that. So don't panic about the amount or anything. It's not you. It's not you. So don't panic. It's the hospital that is going to be applying for that. So basically, what they are going to do is they will go online. They will ask you to submit the relevant document, which basically is your passport, your PIN, that's your license, the registration, after you finish with your NMBI and all of that stuff and you get your license. They'll ask you for the license, your passport, your GNIB, that's your residence permit, front and back. You sign it, your PPS number, your the job contract, the job contract. So your job contract carries your salary per annum, carries your salary per week, your gross salary per annum, and then your gross salary per week. They also need the last three subjects you off you offered or you undertook. What English is what am I even saying? The last three subjects that you took in your school, degree or diploma, whichever one you did. So basically, what people do is to just send in their transcript. So for me, that was what I did. For my transcript, when I got my first transcript for my NMBI process, um my school sent it directly to NMBI. So literally, I did not have my transcript at hand. So during this purpose, I had to call my school again to send me another transcript. This time around, I collected a personal transcript, and my school has this habit of putting a watermark across your transcript, so they just write it personal copy. So with that, I just send it like that to them. But when I saw the okay, let me continue first. So basically, you can just send in your transcript if you don't want, because they want to see the last three subject you did during your school. They also want to see the grade, like the entire grade, whether it was a credit, it was a degree, it was a credit, it was a pass or something like that. Excuse me, please. Sorry. So they also want to see all of that. Yeah, so those are what they look out for. And I think why they are also asking is that they want to see, because the level of education, I think from diploma is like level 6 here, the NVQ, national something something qualification. So they want to see what level, because it has to be a third level education before you can be eligible to get the critical skills. So yeah, so those are the documents you are sending. I don't think I have missed anything. I don't think I've missed anything. If I've missed anything, it's literally what you can always get. The only thing that is a little bit outside is the okay, your nursing certificate is part of it. The little bit the thing that is a little bit outside is the transcript. But if you can remember the last course, which if you finished school a long time ago, it's almost impossible to remember the last three course, like something you did in your year 3 or your year 5, if it was a university. Okay, so that's it. So when you gather all these documents and send to the hospital representative is going to be applying for the who's going to be applying for the critical skills for you, they will go online and apply, make the payment, fill in all the details, and then in about 2 weeks time, you're going to get what they call a draft. I don't know if it is applicable to all hospitals, but in my hospital, that's what I see. You're going to get a draft. So basically, the person in charge just wants to be sure that there's no mistake. There's no mistake. Your name is not misspelled. There's no mistake at all. Just go through it. Because like mine, when I got it, the only thing I saw noticed that changed a little bit was my salary. So what happened was, after I resumed work, I because I continued working in my previous job back home in Nigeria before I got here. So by the time I did interview till when I arrived, my year has increased by 1 year. When you add the months, the it has increased by 1 year. So as at the time I did interview, it was 4 years they counted. So by the time I finished my adaptation and everything, with the additional months that I worked, I did my interview in July and I started working in my hospital in March. So by the time I finished July, and then I resigned in November, that has added up to when they can put me back in point two. you get, in the next point, you get. So I had gotten like an updated contract stating my updated salary. So that was what I now told her, oh, this is what I got. So she just need to make effect with the changes. So you check your name, date of birth, make sure that everything, your current address, very important. The thing here in Ireland is their thing is very apt, so you need to make sure that you are dealing with the current thing. So if you've changed, especially that when you are coming in, you are living with a host accommodation. So if before this time you're able to get a new accommodation, please put in your new address just so you don't have any issues. Okay, so that being said, I just did that. After doing that, and then 2 weeks later, they gave me the draft. I think maybe like 4 weeks later again, my critical skills was out. So with the critical skills, you are eligible to bring in your family immediately. Immediately. But we also want to be, I don't know if this is what is applicable, but the thing is, we always want to make sure that we renew our residence permit, because when you come in initially, the residence permit they are giving you is not up to 1 year. It's just going to expire in like 6 months. Because like me, I came in December and my residence permit was due to expire in April. So that was like 4 months. So you want to renew that, especially if you know it will take a while before your spouse or your family will apply to come into the country. So that's it. So now you now renew your residence permit so that it will be longer, and then you now send all these documents to your family. So the documents you're going to be sending to your family will be like your passport, like all the pages of your passport, both past and the current one. So your passport, that's your travel document, and then your passport photograph, the GNIB, your PPS number, the critical skills work permit, your license, proof of accommodation, which is like your tenancy agreement, and because you need to show that they have a place to stay when they come, so you send that as well. I think those are the only thing. And then your spouse back home will need to prove the relationship by sending in photograph of your wedding photograph, your, if you have kids, like your kids pictures, probably when they were born, things to just show that you people are legit. It's not just two people trying to scam the government and say that they are a couple when they are not. Okay, so yeah, those are the documents you're going to send, and then your spouse will now go online and fill in the immigration.ia, that's the website. And I don't know if they will allow me to put the link to the description. When I end this live, I'm going to do that so you can check back to see, because most times YouTube does not allow links, probably because I'm not yet monetized or something like that. I don't know. So that's it. You send those documents to him or her, and then he or she will then add his own side of the document. I mean, your spouse now will now add his own side of the document, which is his passport, both past and current ones. The entire pages will be, and then all these photographs, his birth certificate, his proof of employment if he's working. So he will have to submit his what is it called, letter of appointment at work, his pay slips, bank statement. Yeah, so from you, you're also going to submit bank statements as well. You're going to also submit bank statement, take your bank statement and send, and then your pay slips, your last 3 months pay slip, you're going to also send. So he will also send his own last 3 month pay slip, bank statement, a proof of employment if any, and those are just it. Yeah, So from your end, you're also sending like utility bills, something to just prove your address. You send that to him or her as well to add and apply. So the application is done online and then you submit. When the initial application is submitted, you're not paying anything. Ireland uses like a third party to do their courier of document biometrics. So they use what is called a VFS. I think it varies from countries to countries. For some countries it is they call it consular. So but in Nigeria we have the embassy, so they use VFS. So after you've applied online, you now go now to VFS website, vfsglobal.com website, and then you click create an account. Sometimes that account is very difficult to create. I don't know if it is their website. Because I remember when I wanted to create the account for my own visa application when I was still back home, it took me hours to be able to just simple account that you only need your email address and phone number, email address, name, and phone number. It took time. I had to call somebody who was here to create the account for me. So I don't know why their website is like that. And even when my husband was trying to create the account, I also have had to create the account for him from here. So I don't know why VFS is like that, but maybe it's not the same in all countries, I don't know. But the one of Nigeria, that's how it is. So you create the account with VFS and then you go on to book for a biometrics. So during the booking, you'll have to make payment. The payment depends on the current exchange rate because visa fee is 60 euro for single entry and 100 euro for multiple entry. There is no need to apply for a multiple entry. I have seen someone who applied for a multiple entry, but a single entry was approved because there's literally no need to apply for a multiple entry, especially for a long stay visa, which family reunification is a long stay visa. There's no need to apply for a multiple entry because when you come into the country and you're accepted into the country under the grounds of family reunification, you're going to get a residence permit. By the time you get a residence permit, one of the advantage of a residence permit is the opportunity it gives you to leave the country and return whenever you want to. So you do not need to apply for visas to and fro. The residence permit allows you to leave the country and then you come back in with the residence permit. So there is no need to apply for a multiple entry, even if it is you that is the primary applicant when you're doing your first application. No need to pay for a multiple entry, just pay for a single entry. So the single entry is going to, hello Felista, thank you for watching. Please help me like and share the live, thank you so much. So the single entry is 60 euro. No, so it would depends on the current exchange rate. Currently, I do not know how much it is in Nigeria for, but the last I know, which is when my husband paid for, was about I think it was about 60 something thousand naira. So there are different fees you're paying with VFS actually, depending on you. So now, for someone like me that does not like too much stress, even though I want to do things myself to save money, when you get VFS, sometimes they give you the option to choose the VIP route or if you don't want to. But for Ireland, there's really no need, especially for family visa, to do the VIP route, except if you are not an organized kind of person. If you are an organized kind of person that you've already organized your document very well, you may not need too much help because the queue is not very long compared to other countries like Canada, UK, um, and some countries like that. So the visa fee is what you pay. Then remember, VFS is third party, is their business. They also have their own charges, like the SMS that no, they will not even send you one. Child. Sometimes that money is very painful. They will charge you for SMS. I think it's now 900 naira. One SMS like this, you will not, even when your visa has been approved, you will not get even one email address to say, oh, your visa has been approved. You have to be going to the website to check, to Irish immigration website, to check for weekly updates to see if your visa has been approved or not. Or you just wait for DHL to call you and say, "Hello, Mr. So so and so. We have a package for you from a embassy of Ireland." That's just how you will find out that your visa has been approved. No SMS, no email, but VFS charged you for SMS. And then courier fee, they are going to charge you for that. I think the courier fee is still at about 26,000 naira thereabouts. And then which other fee do they have on that website? Just a few fees here and there that you have to pay. And then it's mandatory that you take your passport photograph at the VFS. Very important, because they have all the specifications. Every embassy is unique when it comes to how they want their photographs to be taken. And the best place to get it is at the VFS center. So it is better you go there and then you take your photo with them. The one my husband took, I think he said it was about 3,000 or 3,500 for the passport photograph to be taken by them. You just have to pay. Then if you have any documents you need to photocopy, they also offer that services, but it's expensive, but you get very clear copy, especially your data page of the passport, because you're going to submit your entire passport and then you're just going home with the data page. They will tell you to go and um photocopy if you did not. So after all of that is done, in naira, that could cost you plus or minus 150, 130, depending on the kind of services you're choosing. And then after that is done, you just need to, they will take your biometrics, take all your details. They have like a checklist that they will use to check that you've submitted all documents, even when sometimes they miss it. I don't know why, because some people visa gets rejected and then they will say you did not submit the document, but you were the one who ticked those things. But that's just by the way. Anyone can make mistake actually. Yeah. So that's it. Your family will apply and then you now have to go and wait. Now, here come the wait time. The wait time is now different from countries to country. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't know why it is like that, but it's just what it is. So, for some countries, like Zimbabwe, it's very quick. In less than 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you'll get your both your family visa and everything you will get. But in countries like Nigeria, Ghana, I think Cameroon, because the Irish embassy in Nigeria processes, I think, 4 countries. They process visas from applicants from Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, I think Cote d'Ivoire. I think 4 countries. So family visa takes a minimum of 6 months and maximum of 12 months for for Nigerian embassy. For UK, if you are coming through the UK, it's just 10 working days. For Zimbabwe, is less than 3 weeks. For Indians, their own is about 3 months or they're about less, sometimes less than 3 months. Then for the Filipinos, their own is also the same as ours. I think it's even minimum of 8 months or 7 months for them, something like that, because they usually get their visas in like 7, 8 months, like that. But it's just what it is till this point. There was a time Nigerian nurses here, tried to see, I think, make a visit to the Department of Justice because the backlog was just too much. It was passing 1 year and people were not getting it, especially during COVID and all that stuff. But now it's minimum of 6 months and maximum of 12 months. They, as at this time, the last people that have gotten it this April, my husband has not gotten. We applied in June and nothing has happened till today. Yeah, so that's it. If you have the critical skills work permit, at least you're eligible to apply immediately. But let's say you came into the country, you finished your exams and everything, and then you do not have the salary threshold to get the critical skills work permit. That's when it becomes dicey, because the employer will not just send you home. They will give them an option to apply for general work permit, which they will take it, of course. But it would now be affecting you because you won't be able to bring in your family immediately. You have to wait for a minimum of 12 months before you can apply for your family. So be sure that you have at least 4 years of acute clinical job experience or work experience before you come, especially if you have family. If you are a single person, no problem. Even if you have family and then let's say one of the spouse, let's say you are the husband and you've told your wife you're now joining me in the next 2 years, stay in Nigeria with the kids or stay back in your home country with the kids, then that's fine. Okay, that is okay. You can come in and then just get your general work permit and then well. So but the issue with the general work permit, I don't like dwelling into what I am not so certain about. But from the little imagination that I've done and from what I've heard from people so far, after they have after you've gotten the 12 months this minimum qualifications, now the problem will still boil down to the amount of salary you're earning. So there is a financial requirement when it comes to family reunification. Let's dwell on that. I wish I had that document open. It's in my laptop, so I can read directly from there. But let me give rough estimate. So what that document says, to the best of my knowledge or to the best of my understanding of that document, what is said when it comes to financial eligibility is that it categorizes people under different classes, and then class A, one of the people in class A is a critical skills work permit. Now if you have the critical skills work permit and you have just a spouse, like just you and your partner, and then you do not need to have a specific amount of money in your account before your visa can be approved. If you have the critical skills work permit and you have one child, then your minimum gross income per week should be a certain amount. That amount was about 500 euro PC, which, if you do not have up to 3 years working experience, you may not earn up to 500 euro per week. Now, this is how you get the 500 euro per week is your hourly pay multiplied by 37.5 hours. So let's say your hourly pay is 20 euro per hour or 18 per hour. So you multiply that by 37.5, because 37.5 is the current contracted hourly contracted number of hours an employee, a full-time employee, is supposed to work for their employer. I hope I'm able to say that simply enough. So for somebody that is about 4 years experience, if you've watched up to this point, I'm sure you are enjoying the video. So let me just say it the way it is. So when I initially came, when I got my when I got my job contract and then I came into the country, I was working as an adaptation nurse, which I was paid as a student nurse. My hourly pay was 15 euro 2 cents, 15.02. That's what I was earning as a an adaptation nurse. Then as a registered nurse on point one, it was 20, I think 21 euro 95 cents. Oh, my payslip is in this phone. I would have just checked. But it was less than 23 euro. And then I think they do like this increment or something. Then my hourly rate now moved to 23 euro per hour. Now for that 23 euro per hour, I have 5 years working experience. So I want to be as transparent as possible so that if you are doing the math, you know what you're mathing. So that's the gross salary. So by the time you multiply that, mind you, when I came in, it wasn't 23. So what they used to calculate my money that time was not 23, it was less than 22. It was 21 points, I think 85 or 95. Can't remember exactly, but it was less than 22. So when they now upgraded my contract, like I said few minutes ago, was when it moved to 22 points, I think 22.50. And then just recently, there is a little bit of increment. From the few people I asked around, some people got like 500, some people got 600, some people got 550, depending. I think I got about 480 something increase gross salary. So it's, it seems like that. And one thing I like about them is how the increment just, cut across everybody without you having to do too much, which is some of the things I've mentioned on my video where I talk about my experience working in Ireland as a nurse. Is that video will be dropping quite soon. Please, while you are still watching, if you have any question, especially regarding to the topic at hand, please feel free to drop them in the comments. That should be one of the, should I call it, one of the things you should be enjoying for joining live. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop. If you catch me live, this is a time to ask any questions, especially with regards to the topic family visa. That's what we're talking about today. In some days, I will be doing videos. Just ask me anything. I'll just be staying here. Any question, any topic you drop, and then I will answer you. But for today, I'm talking of family visa. So if you have any questions about family visa, drop them in the comments. I'll answer you quickly. Thank you so much. My wife applied in July from Nigeria, but still waiting up today. It's you. July. That means you are later than me. You are later than my husband. My husband applied in June and still has not gotten. The last person I know that I've gotten is my friend. Is April. It was first week of April actually. After that, I don't know anyone later than that. Okay. Where did I stop? I think I was talking about salary. Okay, so that's it. And then if you have a spouse and two children, then the money keep increasing. But the highest they put was 4 kids, which was less than €1,000 per week. I think it was about €800 per week gross salary. So you know that if you have higher years of experience and then you are up to like point 0.5, point 0.6 or something like that. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. It's just funny the way it is in Nigeria, and it's really quick in other countries. It's just funny the way it is in Nigeria. So that's it. But I know that if you're able to even get the critical skills, it's, you can make do of the family visa, even if no many people don't have too much children these days. The highest number of kids a young couple have now is about five, at most six. So that's it. So that's it about the financial implication for the family reunification. So that could also be an hindrance, even though you first of all got the general skills work permit, the general work permit. Because with a general work permit, it means that your this thing is low, your salary is low, is lower, and then by the time you want to apply for family visa, and it may not be really really good. Somebody just drop a question now. What about if I come as a care assistant? How long if I shouldn't join me? Where are you watching? Okay, you say you're watching from Kenya. Okay, so you might be lucky. You might be lucky to even get the healthcare assistant because agencies are recruiting from Kenya. Um, yeah, so the healthcare assistants qualify for the general work permit. And then if you have more than one, two, three kids, then you need to meet up with weekly gross salary for you to bring in that number of kids. So the problem with that will be your number of children and then the amount. Generally, healthcare assistants with less years of experience, I think they earn minimum wage, which is about I was speaking with someone, when it comes to salary, people are not very comfortable talking about them, even when I don't know what it means. Because if you tell me your salary, I'm not gonna come and get it. So the last person I had a discussion with was like they want to increase their salary to 14 euro per hour. So as a beginner, but as you work, especially if you are working for the HAC, as you're going, your salary is going, the salary increases by the year. So the more years of experience you have as healthcare assistant, the more your salary will be. So I don't know if you are a nurse that wants to come in as healthcare assistant. If it's from Kenya, probably you might be lucky, but from Nigeria, I don't want to say impossible, because there's actually nothing that is so impossible, but it's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult. So yeah, if you come in, you'll be getting the general work permit, which you have to wait for 12 months before you bring in your family. And before you apply, you need to meet up those financial requirements. So I hope your question is clear. Otherwise, you can ask a follow-up questions. Okay. Thanks you for commenting. Um. So yeah. Uh. So if you did not qualify for the critical skills, you're definitely going to be qualifying for, I mean, for nurses now, yeah, for the general work permit, and the 12 month rule still applies to you, which is not so, it's not something that is so encouraging for family people, but it's just what it is. So how long do I need to wait? Now that is the question. So let's take it this way. Now, the time frame that you have to wait depends on many, many things. Majorly, majorly, it depends on the kind of compensation measure you're coming in to do. So first, let's talk of those that are coming in to do the OSCE. So let's say you came you came into the country on the 1st of January, and your exams is on the 10th of January. Some agencies or some hospitals want you to come into the country because they know that, somebody that is just coming in, you have a lot of things to do, you need to do and relax and then prepare for exams. But at least, probably you should be in 1 week to your exams, and then you start taking your exams. The CBT is usually on Saturday, and then if you pass, which majority of nurses pass that, the OSCE will be like the next day or the next 2 days. So if the CBT was like on a Friday, the OSCE will be on Sunday, or sometimes it's Saturday and then Sunday. Okay, so the CBT, the exams, the result comes out almost immediately, almost before you even get home or even leave the exam, or you can get the results of your CBT. And then the OSCE, the result also comes out pretty fast. So let's assume you do your CBT, you pass quickly, and then you do your OSCE and you pass immediately. Please, if you are here, can you help me like? The more you like, the more Facebook gets to, suggest the live to people to watch. Please help me support. Let me get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. So, what was I saying? Yeah, coming through the OSCE, it's pretty quick, and then you're done in like 3 weeks. Okay, it's not even up to 3 weeks. So let's say you wait 1 week, and then you finish your exam in the next week, and then you do not have any more queries with NMBI back and forth, and you get your pin in like 2 weeks time. So let's say in 4 weeks you are done with everything, you've gotten your pin. The next thing is to apply for the critical skills, and it will take minimum of like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Let's say in 4 weeks time your critical skills is out, that's 2 months gone, and then you're already applying for your family visa. Then depending on your country of residence, the length adds up. So if you are from Zimbabwe, and at least I know those people because I know I have friends from there, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the visa is out. But if you are from countries like our own Nigeria, then you need to wait minimum of 6 months, then you know how far it's going to be. That's it for people who came in through the OSCE and then passed the exams at first sitting. Now, if you came in through the OSCE and then you took your CBT and you did not make it, then you have to NMBI, no, not NMBI, RCSI. They are the body that I think I will do maybe tomorrow. I'll do a live where I talk about the OSCE exams. I will be doing more of parables because the exams is not really supposed to be said in public and stuff like that. But so I will use more of parables to talk, but I will give a brief talk into the RCSI exams. So yeah, somebody came in and then couldn't make it initially with the CBT, and then they have to give you for like 1 week, just for you to um brace up, do more revisions and then go in, and then you go in and then you pass the exam at second sitting. Then you went in for the OSCE, or let's say you did the CBT, you passed, and then you went in, because usually I've not really heard of someone who didn't make it during the CBT. I am yet to see one person. I've heard of a few people, but it's not that common to not make it in the CBT, but it is very common to not make it in the OSCE, because the OSCE is like where the real thing is. So you went into the OSCE and you couldn't make it at first trial. Then they give you like 2 weeks to prepare yourself and then come back to take the receipt. So let's say maybe you had like 2 stations, 3 stations, 5 stations, or 9 stations. It's 14 stations in total to receipt, and then you came back for the receipt. So you've stayed like extra 2 weeks now. So you came back and took the receipt and then you make it. Some people don't get to make it in the receipt and they have to start all over again. When you're already here, sometimes the shame, sometimes the money, when you think of the money, or sometimes this is just something you really want to do, and it will be worth it in the end. So you want to sit back and start the reapplication to NMBI to get a new decision later to apply for the exams again. I know people who did that, and then in like, if you are unlucky that there's delay in one way or the other, or trying to get or maybe your certificate of good standing had expired, you want to apply for new one. I hope you understand the way I'm trying to make you know what can makes it longer or not. That's for people that are doing the exams. So you now got your pin in. So you already spend like 2 months, 3 months before you get your pin. That's if you do not fail the second attempt. Or maybe you've even passed your exam and then you got to apply for registration with NMBI, and some of your document like your certificate of good standing has expired, and then you have to renew it, and then you went back to get this one, and then this one you're telling you they're giving you a query on this one, stuff like that. And then it delays, and then it's up to like 8 weeks, 10 weeks before you get your pin. Then you now apply. Now here comes the one that makes it even longer: adaptation. So for adaptation, I see adaptation to be more of a tentative kind of thing. I've done a video about my experience with adaptation. It's one of the very first videos that I did on this channel. If you want to watch them, then you have to like scroll down, 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 down. I made it in 3 parts, but I'm still going to talk about it in like a one whole life where I talk about my experience with adaptation. So with adaptation, it is entirely different. Different hospitals have different policies when it comes to adaptation. So for some hospitals, whether you are good or not, you have to finish the 12 weeks, because adaptation is minimum of 6 weeks and maximum of 12 weeks. So recently it is now minimum of 8 weeks, because they want 2 weeks. There's an updated assessment format with the NMBI, and they want every hospital to have 2 weeks introduction. So 2 weeks, the 2 weeks introduction is where they get to teach you the hospital policies, this and that, introduce you to different people, different department, get you sorted, register you, give you a work email. All those things happens within that 2 weeks, and then theoretical presentations from different departments in that 2 weeks. You also get to visit the department which will be doing the adaptation in that same 2 weeks. So the 2 weeks is not counted, is like week zero. So it's from your first week, is from the third week that you are going to the units that you'll be doing the adaptation, that they start counting as week one. That's how it is in my hospital, and that's how it will be, I think so, in all hospitals now, because that update came, I think, early this middle of this year thereabout. So if you are I don't want to say unlucky. If you are in a hospital that wants every adaptation, every adaptee to finish 12 weeks complete before they even decide if you are passed or not. Because that's the worst thing that can even happen to anyone. You finish 12 weeks and you are not even sure that you have passed. Then at the end of the day, they tell you have not passed. 3 months otilo, and then you are going to go back to your country. That's not fair, but it happens to many people actually. So you already have like 3 months that is not part of the critical skill stuff and all of that stuff. Then if you are lucky enough to go to a hospital that does not want you to finish the entire 12 weeks, they just say minimum of 8 weeks, which is 2 weeks of your introduction and then 6 weeks of the adaptation, and then they assess you to see if you have passed or not. If you have not made the qualification, then they will say, okay, these are the areas you have not made. We need to I'll discuss all of that in adaptation video, but I just want to give a brief insight to what will make you stay for a longer time before even getting to get your critical skills. So when that is done, 12 weeks. But if you are lucky and then it's just 8 weeks, and 8 weeks have passed, remember, somebody that did OSCE in 8 weeks has already gotten their pin, has already gotten their critical skills. But you that did adaptation in 8 weeks, you've not gotten your pin yet. And if you are in a hospital that wants you to do the whole 12 weeks, so that means in 3 months, you don't have your pin yet. So that's how long it takes. So those ones now depends on your situation that will make it longer or faster. But the entire, should I say in brief, OSCE makes it shorter for you to get your family down here when you compare it to adaptation. Even if you are in a hospital that does not want longer period for adaptation. I hope that's clear. And then when you now add that period with the period that you have to wait for the embassy decision depending on your country, then see the year. So I always like to use myself and as an example. I always like, please help. I have 5 people watching me and only 3 likes. Please help me like the video. Like it. Just drop a comment, even if it's hello. Drop a comment so that Facebook can suggest my videos to people to watch. I'm making good videos, I know, but it's just that videos like this does not go viral because I'm not doing gossip. Okay. Thank you so much for the like. One person just like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So where did I stop? So yeah, I was saying that I like to use myself as an example, and I've said it. It's it's not news again that I came in on 1st December 2023, and today's date is what? Today is 6th, 9th. Can you imagine? Today is 9th um December, and my husband is still not here. His visa has not yet been approved. So you get the point. His visa has not yet been approved up to today. And that's because I did adaptation. I did adaptation. And I know it shouldn't have been that long, because some things happened along the way. We were waiting for some documentations. It just didn't happen because of Nigerian system. But what I would advise is, if you are coming into the country, start on time to start to start putting pressure on whoever pressure needs to be put into, to get all the documentations of your spouse and kids ready. So if you have a child, you're going to be applying for them each, all of them. So there's also an application letter as one of the documents I forgot to mention. So why didn't you apply together? Does it include your kids? Yes, nurses get the critical skills employment permit. Yeah. We cannot get the critical skills employment permit from our home country, because as nurses you need to come in and you need to have your license before you can get the critical skills employment permit, especially from non-EU, from for us from the non-EU country that we need visa to enter into Ireland. So we cannot get the critical skills employment permit from our home country. We need to come in and finish our part two, which is doing the exams or doing the adaptation before we can get the CACP. So that's it. So that's why we cannot come in with our family from day one. But other help, there are other someone dropped a comment on my channel some time ago. It's a dietitian from Nigeria got her critical skills permit from Nigeria, because when she applied to Koru, that's their board, they her qualification got recognized. Exactly. Yeah, it's different from nurses. So engineers, it might be the same, because like this person I'm talking about is a dietitian. It's a dietitian. She asked me a few things. I was like, how were you able? She said they gave her. So when she applied to the to Koru for her recognition to be for her qualification to be recognized, they recognized and see that she is fit to register. So they registered her directly. So from there, she's able to apply for critical works permit directly from Nigeria. So engineers, I think it would be the same thing, but for nurses and doctors, no. For pharmacists, I don't want to say no, but I think it may not be possible, especially if you are not given the qualification. Because I tried to make inquiry about pharmacists, and then they still need to come in and finish the part two. Yeah, they still need to come in and finish the part two, except they will accept the qualification directly. So if you're able to get your license directly from Nigeria, and then you can just apply. So for engineers, you guys are lucky, but for us, nah. No, for us, and I know doctors specifically, no, no, especially doctors from Africa, no. Maybe from India, because it's a little bit different. Indian doctors, it's a little Indian, I think Indian and Pakistani, it's a little bit different, their route. But for Africans, you need to come into the country to finish the part two. Okay. So any more questions? I'll just be taking questions. If I remember anything, I will talk about it. But I don't think I've missed anything. I don't think so. If you have questions, suggestions, contributions, please Go ahead and drop them in the comments. Waska Gaming, would you love to come up on my channel and share your experience about how you were able to get a job as an engineer? Because I have people asking me that question. I just tell them I may not be able to give you the in-depth audio, but I know engineers, IT personnel, they are all on that critical skills list. Would you love to come in and share your, even if you don't want to like show your face, I can just, maybe give you a call, and then I listen to what you say, and then I come and talk about it, if you don't want like people to show your face. um I'll drop my email on the chat. If you're interested, please do let me know. What is that? um I just dropped my email there, but it's with another account actually. It's with the Nyangno93. So nduesosambo@gmail.com. That's my email address, if you don't mind. And I'll really, really appreciate it. I'd really, really appreciate it if you can do that. If you can do that, I really, really appreciate it. Please, if you have questions, uh, if you have any questions, anything you want to know about family visa, but I feel like I've said enough. But if there's, you want to understand anything, just let me know. Just let me know. Just let me know. Let me know. Any question or anything actually. Anything actually. May not be family visa alone. Anything actually. Just let me know. Let me know. Ask any question. But I think I've said everything I need to say about family visa. Okay, I think one thing that is worthy to mention is the age, and who is considered as family. Although that should be common knowledge. But so is your spouse. Yes, yes, very important. It is not only your wife or your husband that can be recognized to join you. There is what they call the facto partner. I know that may not be really common with us Africans, especially Nigerians, that LGBTQ is not really a thing, or a legal thing actually. Um, but yeah, there's what they call de facto partner. So Ireland recognizes that. So if you have like a partner, so let's say maybe this person is your boyfriend, and you guys have been living together for like 2 years, you pay rent together, you pay bills together, you do things, literally, like you do things husband and wife should be doing, but you are just not married. So I'm using husband and wife because I'm assuming that I'm speaking to like Africans who LGBTQ is not really a thing. But if you are even like LGBTQ, it does not just, it's not automatic that you are a lesbian or you are a gay. But there has to be that relationship where you can prove that this person is your partner. So your bills, rent, stuff like, you can prove that this person is a partner. You can also come with that. So that is also recognized under the Irish family visa law. It's also recognized. So the partner, husband and wife, so married partner or married partner, they are all recognized. Um, yeah, and then the kids, it's below 18, below 18. But I want to believe that if you have it below 18, I should be the one with your current spouse or the one you're still married to. So if it's like a child from a child from a dissolved marriage, then you really need to prove that you have the sole custody of that child. So let's say you are married with your spouse, be it husband and wife. I'll just use the word spouse to qualify man and woman. So you have a spouse, married spouse, I mean, and then after a while, you guys had kids, and then something happened, and you both go your way, and then one of you is with the child, and you are the primary applicant, where the child will be joining under you, and then so you need to prove to the immigration officers that the other spouse has agreed to give you the full custody of this child, that you can take the child out. So that's like a very big thing to do, especially if your marriage didn't really end in a good way. Does marriage end in a good way? Which kind of word be that one? Oh. But what I mean basically is, do not end in a way that you guys can still communicate freely, or the other person understand the fact that probably it's for the good of the child. Is that the word? And none of you is basically being too selfish not to recognize the fact that the child should be cared for. Let me just say it that way. But all I'm saying is that if you are taking the child out, and you are not still married to that spouse, then you need to prove that the child is fully, or you are fully responsible for the child. you know that's it. And it's actually a lot of things, especially if you are in a new marriage and that one was from an old marriage. Becomes a bit complicated, but you can still do it. So it's also recognized as your child and your dependent, and they have to be less than 18 years old. So if they are 18, they are now adults. And I think if you have a child that is above 18, then you really need to prove to the immigration officers that even though they are above 18, they are still dependent on you. Yeah. I think it may be accepted, maybe within 18 to 21. That one is just common knowledge, oh. Have not read it anywhere. Oh. Please don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. I'm just saying, because like here, why I'm saying so is like here they recently made an announcement where child benefits were only paid up to the age of 17. But they recently made an exception that even if a child is 18 years old, but is still like maybe with disability and stuff like that, or is in a full-time education where, I mean, full-time education, yeah, where you are like so responsible for the child. There are like two clause in the you can still get child benefit for 18. So I'm just using that to say, okay, even if your child, and in Nigeria itself, 25 years old child is still eating from mama's pot. Is still eating from mama's pot. It's just that we may not have the all the receipts to show, especially if he's no more going to school. We may not have the receipt to say, oh, I pay his rent, I bought his clothes, I am the one feeding him and all that stuff. But I think even if that, especially if he's not so much out, then you can prove that he's still dependent on you. They may be able to accept. That's just from my head. not from immigration website, please. That particular sentence is from my head. Mhm. Before you quote me and said, Sambo said, no, I did not say. I'm just thinking aloud. Okay. Please drop your questions. Drop your questions. Drop your questions. Okay. Questions. If you are just joining and you have anything to ask about family visa in Ireland, especially as it pertains to nurses, please feel free to drop a comment. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Or any other thing you want to ask, basically. I'll be here till about 10 o'clock. Then I close my phone and go to bed. Yeah. Mm. I'll be here till 10 o'clock. So, oh, God. Oh. Mm. Any questions? Any questions? Drop questions if you have any. Drop questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate you staying with me on this live. So basically, I have finished what I had in my head to say about family visa. So now I'm just waiting for, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. Let's just chat. Let's chat. Literally, I want to use this live to just be chatting. Let's just chat. You know, let's just chat. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. Oh my god. Ah, let's just have a chat. Ah, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my God. Oh. Dun 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 dun. Ta-da-na-na-na-na. Ta-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ta-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh God. Please, if you are just joining, I was talking about family visas. So literally, I've explained everything I needed to say. And but if you have questions, if you did not join from the beginning, please don't forget to just drop your questions. I'm going to answer you while I'm here. Just drop your questions on the comments and I'll answer you. Okay? It doesn't matter if I've already said, maybe answer the questions you are asking. Just drop your questions and I'll answer you. Okay? And if you're just joining, please do well to like the live. Please. Please, 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 please. Ugh, I'm feeling so sleepy. My battery is low. If you are just joining, please do well to drop your comments. Do well to drop your questions in the comments and I'll answer you. Mm, I will answer you. So, mm, okay. I'll just stay live till it's 10 o'clock. When it is 10 o'clock, oh, Thank you for joining. Please drop your question and I'll answer them. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them. We'll answer you. We'll answer you. Let me see what this lighting will be like. This one goes off. Mm, not too bad. So I think I can put that one off. But it's like really low quality here. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to drop them in the comments. And I'm going to answer you. This is um the magazine we get every month from INMO. So INMO is the oh wow, what's this calendar? INMO is like saying NAM in Nigeria, a Irish Nurses and Midwives organization here in Ireland. So they are the voice of nurses here, and they are really trying their best. They are really trying their best. 45,000 members. What's this about? This is January to December 2025. Bank holidays. Oh, maybe tomorrow I will talk about this. Know your rights as a nurse. You know what you're eligible to. So this is like in brief of what you're eligible to. So I'll talk about them tomorrow. Tomorrow's live. This is what to talk about. Your salary, your leave, pro-rata arrangements are agreed for part-time nurses and midwives. Annual leave, agency workers, compassionate leave. I mentioned many things here. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, and then another day we'll talk about. I want to try to see if I can be going live every day. Maybe throughout this Christmas. Let's see if I can be going live every day throughout this December. Is that even possible? Because some days I'm just too tired to talk. Some days I'm just too tired to talk, but some days, any day I can, definitely. We'll, we'll do it. Any day I can, we'll do it as much as I can. We're going to do it. That's just the truth. But I love to do it every year. If you are just joining, please, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments. Today I talked about family visa here, and I am done talking about them. If you want to watch the replay will be available on the YouTube channel on the live what live item or live well, so yeah. But for now, I'm just staying for anyone that has any questions to ask. Please just drop them in the comments. Anything you want to ask, just drop them. Just drop them in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll answer you immediately. If you are just joining, please don't forget to drop your questions if you have any of them, and I'll answer you quickly while I'm on here. Hey everyone, I can see many people are still joining. Please, I was talking about family visa today. I was done. This live will end very soon, and the replay will be available on the channel. But while you are here, please, if you have any question, do well to put them in the comments, and I'll reply you. Okay, thank you. I'm feeling so sleepy. I want to sleep. Oh, somebody. Mm, Put your hands together. Praise the Lord. Oh, somebody. Mm. Oh my God. Lubricate your lips and then sleep. Put your hands together and praise the Lord. This was a gift I got today from work. So, good night, everyone, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Freedom is coming. Ooh. So everywhere suddenly became so dark.